What is up, everybody, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. We're back at work, getting things going. I have spent the time between videos, and I know it's been a little while, getting a lot of our interfaces set up for much of our machines. So, I can take this down, I can show you. Everything has been condensed down to interfaces on most of these walls. So everything is already set up. Don't have to worry about anything. I went through and I made sure everything was working properly. You can even see from our little particles down there that our actually additions and powers are set up and working. And it has led to two problems. One of which is that we are starting to run over the power limit of our generators. And two, we are burning through resources like nothing. I knew it was going to happen eventually. So I've been, like, shuffling these guys around. I have both of them in here for now. This one's getting me redstone because, oh my gosh, am I going through redstone like crazy. I don't even care about this stuff. This is just here for redstone. Yeah, we need to solve that problem pretty quick. And there's two things that we can do to solve, well, kind of both of these problems. And I have set up our area for one of them, and the other one I haven't quite figured out where we're going to put it yet. But those areas are... Did I do things? Oh, right, I've set up quantum entangler things. So, I was getting tired of just running back and forth to dimensions, like, for the nether farm stuff or the end stuff. So I went ahead and I set up some quantum entangler porters, and now everything from those dimensions comes here. As you can see, even our iridium is coming over here. And we're getting netherite from the nether. So everything comes here. There are the occasional items that I still need to filter out. Wither skeleton trophies. Ooh. I need to find a spot to add those in. Everything else here can get thrown away. But I can work on that later. For now, I've also added this so I can turn systems on and off. Well, just here. Our Guardian farm is off at the moment, but we did get a little bit of shards and stuff. We do not have the power at the moment to be able to run that. It can run, but it drains everything. So, yeah, that's part of why we need a better power system. Either way, we are hurting on quite a few resources, so I want to get two things running today. Go ahead and claim those, and there's another one in here that I did. Oh, right, I needed that to get the tesseract. Block of ender pearl, always need that. And an iron casing. I think I wound up making like 3 or 4 of these things. I'll throw that in there. You can go in there because you're on a wall somewhere. I think that's you over there. Either way, what we're here for today is we're going to work on a couple of big things. And I mean big. Because one of them is we're going to be setting up our induction matrix. Now this is going to be our beginning induction matrix. I may make it bigger later on. But for now we need to be able to set this up as it is one of the only machines that can actually handle the power output of the rainbow generator, which we're also going to try to set up. I have most of the things that we need automated for that. Where's my button? There it is. This one is everything we're going to be using in the rainbow generator system. And as you can see, a couple of them are marked as not automated. So Dragon's Breath, Redstone, and Nether Stars. I should have a pile of those sitting in here for each of them. So I have 15 Dragon's Breath. I have 12 Nether Stars, and we're actually been hurting on redstone, but I'm okay at the moment. That's part of why I have that nether ore vein going. I get 12 from each of those when I put it through there, so it can kind of keep up. But a couple of them that we need to automate on here are enchanted books. I think I'm going to go with the thorns one because I think that's just a book and cactus. Water bottles, and there's another one for milk and lava. So we're going to have 3 liquids that we need to take over there. Pink dye. I don't really have a lot of pink dye stuff. And then we need bacon. And the reason why I'm doing bacon is because bacon just comes from pork, which I can add to our animal stuff over there. And it's 1 raw pork chop just gives us 6 bacon. And that gives us a minute, over almost 2 minutes in this culinary generator. The amount of power output from these doesn't matter. We're just going to trash it. But I have set up an area for all the generators to go because a couple of them are painful to have around. So they are going to go under here. I've set up a space. They're all going to go right in here. And I have a spot right here to be able to do stuff like setting up water bottles and things like that. So, let's go ahead and get started on crafting some of these generators. Because some of them we're going to have the things we need and some of them we may not. But we need to craft everything from this survival generator all the way through this slimy generator. And we need 2 of everything. So some of them will be pretty easy, like this one. I have everything for them already. And some of them may not be as easy. Do I have... I should have osmiridium around. I don't have any enchanted golden berries at the moment. Enchanted berries. Can I get those again? Oh, I gotta set this thing up again. I think I have some of those berries in here still. I don't see them, but they're pretty easy to go get. They're all over the place in the aether. And I think I actually have the bushes for them. Yeah, these. I don't know if I can just bone meal the bushes to get them. Let's find out. Can I even plant them over here? I can. And I can bone meal them. Sweet. While we're waiting on those, let's see if there's any of these other ones we can make. I need a couple of lava buckets. Well, guess what? I have lava. I do have the steaming Restonia automated now, so we should have plenty of that. Let's see, what's our next one? We have the heated redstone generator, which takes magmatic generators, which means I'm going to need 2 more of these. Now we have the ender generator. We need some sun crystals, some lithium ingots. We need the death generator to make this one. Let's go ahead and make that, which requires the furnace generator. Does everything require the furnace generator? Yes. Pretty much. Let's just make... how many generators do we actually need? I love having automated systems. What did that just run out of? Furnaces. How perfect. Okay, so death generators. I need blocks of flesh. Make our death generators. Oh, I actually need 2 more of those to make our ender generators. I should have everything for. And now we've got our potion generator, which takes a splash potion of luck. I don't have those. Osmiridium I can make. Let's go ahead and throw up a bunch of iridium into osmiridium. And our berries behind us. I think that might be enough to make our other generators. I have this golden molder folder here. I have another one if that one breaks. What were those for? Culinary generator. Let's see if we have enough stuff here. Oh, I need the osmiridium for that as well. Okay, well, potion generator is waiting. I need these splash potions of luck. Do I have the stuff to make these? Potions of luck. Oh, yeah, I can make that. My brewing stand over here. Do you have any bottles? No, I don't have any bottles. I have 2 water bottles. Let's make a couple of bottled water. You know, it would help if I just look up bottles. And I can't put these in the system, otherwise it's going to try to make more of these bottles enchanting. That system still pulls everything I have for bottles out of the system. But go grab some water bottles down here. And the way we're going to do the one for the water bottle that we need for the generator, we're just going to have it keep a closed system. So we're not going to actually have a... let's grab 2 more. There we go. That gives me 15 bottles. It's going to be a closed system so that the bucket and the... Yeah, sure, I'll put those ones in there. The bucket and the bottles don't get pulled back into this system at all. Yeah, we still got to do it that way. So, let's see. I needed an emerald. I need 2 emeralds. I need gunpowder. All that fun stuff. You can see all the stuff moving in and out of the system as things are getting crafted. You can see which things are not holding up. For whatever reason, this isn't crafting. Well, this is working, so I just stuck them in the potion brewer that we had sitting in the box over there. And yes, I know I could use this to actually automate this whole system. Nothing in that spot. And we have our splash potions of luck. It's going to start the second round. There we go. That should give us our potion generator after we make our osmiridium blocks. It's still pulling osmiridium. It might still be pulling osmiridium for the circuits. I don't think it is, but it might be. But that gives us enough for 1 generator. And I need quite a few of those, don't I? I guess I should set osmiridium up over there. Gonna be needed. I'll do that afterwards. So there's our first potion generator. Okay, we got both of our potion generators. Let's show those in there. We had everything we need now for our culinary generators. And we need to move on to our next one is the pink generator. I need pink linen. I think the best source we're going to have for pink dye is probably going to be these lilacs, because I can just bone meal them. And I can try to set up a system to like automatically collect them if it has to keep us at like a stack or something. Because I have a feeling this pink dye stuff is going to go through pretty quick. But I've also got to figure out that we're supposed to be able to set up like a timer for this to be able to run. That's magenta. Okay, well I don't need magenta, I need pink. Is it the peony that we need? I think it's a peony actually. Yeah. I did the wrong one. There we go, just over 2 stacks of pink dye. I should have enough linen here for our generators. Grab. They should still be over here. No, they despawned. I threw some sunstones out there because I'm out of those. Dang it. I was busy doing the flax. Guess I make some more. Okay, now that we have those, we can make our 2 pink generators. For the overclock generator, I need more osmiridium and more sun crystals. Oh, I need upgrades as well. Those I have everything for. So, more sun crystals it is. While we're waiting for some of that stuff to craft up, let's go ahead and move on to some of the generators we can craft. We have the halitosis generators. We have the frosty generators, which, again, I'm just waiting on the osmiridium. And we have the disenchantment generator, which I need some enchantment tables for. And then our slimy generator, which I believe we have everything for. What was that? Slime blocks. There's our slimy generator. And looking at everything else, I think pretty much everything is locked behind osmiridium at this point. The overclocked generators that we need are... There we go. I can now make those. And we actually need 4 of them, because the explosive generator right next to it also requires them. This one. Yeah, it requires the overclock generators and TNT. I don't know where I have TNT from, but I do. I won't complain. The nether star generator requires a couple of nether stars and death generators. Let's go ahead and make a couple more of those. And there's our 2 nether star generators. We only have 2 left. We just need the frosty generator, which we're out of osmiridium. Okay, I think we have everything. There's our 2 frosty generators. And then our 2 disenchantment generators. Apparently I miscounted somewhere. There we go. There are all 16 generators. Now that completes all the quests for these. But that means we have to make the rainbow generator. That gives us some of our machine blocks back. My system's probably auto-crafted them all already. Well, I'm not even worried about that. But to make these, we need 1 of each generator and a resonating redstone crystal, which I should have a couple from sag milling. Okay, so... Holy cow, I can get redstone from those. How many of those do I even have? I have 75 of them. I guess I have redstone sitting here that I didn't even know about. Okay, so what do I need? Nether star, overclocked, pink, heated, explosive, survival, slimy, and potion to give us the bottom half of the rainbow generator. And now the other ones, I don't think it actually matters where they are. If it does, I will shift them around to where they actually go. There we go, the top half of our rainbow generator. And we have the rainbow generator. Now the reason I wanted this is because it produces 25 million RF per tick when it is when all other generators are running. So yeah, it's a massive amount of power. And the way we're going to set this up is I want 4 generators on each side. I will run the cabling here off camera in a minute. But we're going to pick just 4 of them at random. There, how about these 4? There. And I will just run cabling right here down the middle. And we're going to repeat that on these 3 walls. Let's go with Ender, Potion, Culinary, and the Death Generator over here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to move the Death Generator. So, I think it's the Halitosis, the Death, the Explosive, and the Nether Star. These 4 actually have negative effects. So I'll go ahead and put them all together. Then we have all of that. And that's all of our generators in place. Let me get cables and stuff run for them. There's going to be a bunch of filtering and stuff set up. And we're going to have to pipe everything over here. I already have a connection for everything to be able to come through. But then we are also, and this is where it's going to get to an interesting point where I got to figure out how exactly I want to do this, because I want to connect to this thing wirelessly. And we're going to put the rainbow generator right here in the middle. Now, I want to say this thing only has to run for 1 tick to generate 25 million RF. I want to say there is an item over here. This one? Yeah, these. The phantom faces. Now, there's an energy phantom face. You can use boosters on them to connect up to 128 blocks. I think that should be enough with like 1 or 2 boosters for me to be able to connect this to an induction matrix inside the base. Because I kind of want this over here. It looks really cool when it's running, and we'll use the augment spell to take a look at it. But I'm also going to have to be very careful, because if I come anywhere near some of these ones, I can get really hurt. That will give you the withering effect. That actually causes explosions. This one I think gives a... what is it? Like a... It gives like a area around it. It will spawn endermites around it. There you go. And then the death generator, I think, is self-explanatory. I don't want to be anywhere near that thing when it's running. So, getting all these set up is going to take me a few minutes. So I'm going to work on that, and I'll bring you guys back when everything is set up. What in the world? That pig is blue. Why is that blue? Whatever. I didn't know we could get a blue pig. Good grief, that took so long to set up. I think for the majority of the stuff it is set up, but in order for us to really use this, I need to be able to make this guy. Let's see if we have enough stuff. I've been struggling on redstone still, so let's see if we have the stuff to make this. Let's see. Basic induction cell and induction provider are going to be expensive ones because I have to make energy cubes. Also, these are the actual wastes for stuff to go in. Let me actually read this. Okay, having read things, it looks like it might be a little bit tricky for us to really upgrade anything on it, particularly these induction providers. So the basic induction provider requires a basic energy cube and just some basic stuff that we have. But if I want to go to the advanced induction provider for more RF, I need 4 basic induction providers, and it continues that way, as well as an advanced energy cube, and it continues that way all the way up. Good grief. Shut up, lightning. So these induction providers are going to be the core of the actual induction matrix, and they control your energy flow. I don't think they apply to input, only to output. So a basic should be fine for us for now, because even with 2 generators down there, this induction matrix should be more than what we need. Our matrix, we are likely going to end up putting it down here on our floor of multi-blocks for mechanism, because this is another mechanism multi-block. I will probably stick it over here, which is, I think, directly underneath our generators, and this should be our trunk with the power cable running through it. So that should be the perfect place to have it. Also, I cleaned up all this mess. This is our DT fuel generation. I don't even know if I can show you this. I put like a couple of hours into trying to get this stuff cleaned up and organized. So I now have tanks for that stuff there, and it comes up here into this absolute mess to make steaming Herstonia. But it works, so I can't complain. So let's see if we can make our first induction matrix tier, which we will upgrade this later on. We can expand it, put more of these providers and more of the cells inside to increase capacity, and we can go from there. So let's see if we can get our first setup going. I think I have everything. I have this cosmic alloy, which I only need a couple of. 2 induction ports. That should be everything. So I did go ahead, because we do have the resources, although I had to go get more redstone again, to make these advanced induction cell and provider, so they have a little bit more. This one does 204,000 RF per tick, and this one has 3.2 GRF, which is well in the middle. I think it's in the billions, like giga RF or something. Let's get down here and let's see if we can get this made. And then I get to figure out if I can figure out a phantom face to get this thing connected. Now this guy is going to be big, so it's just going to end up in the wall, and it's going to be over here by itself. But for now, I think it's only a 3x3, and it's 4 blocks tall. And we're going to do 1 induction port there. I'm going to do 1 here. And these just go inside, however. Boom. There we go. Input and output, statistics, yada yada yada. Storing 0, input, output 0, yada. So now I get to figure out this phantom face, now that we have that, to see if I can figure out how to use it to connect our rainbow generator over there. But I also need to make sure that, oh, I actually need another induction port, I think. So this is my first time ever trying to use phantom faces. I've never used them before. Phantom energy face. Yeah, that's what I want. I think that's what the other one is. It gives me some basic coils for that, but this, let's face it. Phantom liquid face, energy face, and redstone face. Specialized versions of the phantom face, these work the same way, but with power, fluids, or redstone signal instead. There's also a player interface that is done with the same thing. Let's make some phantom boosters. There we go. We got our 1 phantom booster and a phantom energy face. So what does it say about this? Works as a remote access point for an inventory within 16 blocks. Manipulation of items maintains its directionality. You can place up to 3 phantom boosters on top of the phantom face to increase the range up to a maximum of 128 blocks. That doesn't really help me with these. I think I'm gonna have to look this up. That was a quest? Where was that quest at? Oh, Phantom Tandem. Without being bound to a block, phantom faces do nothing. For the low price of a right click on the target block and a shift right click on the phantom face you desire, you can have them actually do something. I have 2 boosters for this. I think I'm just going to stick it back here for now. I'm going to put it like right here. I went ahead and I made 2 phantom boosters. Range is 64 blocks. I blocked myself in. Okay, we've connected the rainbow gen. Let's see if we can figure out how to connect the induction matrix, or am I going to need a second one? I mean, it's not a problem if I need a second one. It's just going to be kind of interesting to set this up. Let's grab you. Don't mind my mess of stuff on the other side. That's me trying to set up automation for the system to run on its own. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna need 2 of them. 44 blocks away. I can live with that. Okay, so now that I've figured out what these are doing, I'm actually going to move them over here where I can put them side by side. Okay, I think I have them working. We're about to find out. We'll have to do 2 things for this to actually work properly the way I want it to. First thing I want to do is I want this set to a delay of 200. 11 ticks, I think. I think that's how I want it. And this will come down here. I've already got all the other stuff set up. Although I do have the redstone for these ones disconnected because those are going to hurt like crazy. So with that on, these should randomly be ticking when I activate it. I think I have it set up so it's not going to activate just yet. Okay. Oh, I haven't even shown you guys this. So this is the whole complicated mess of stuff down here. So I have fluid interface that's feeding water, liquid XP, milk, and lava into here. This is feeding all the different items that we need to bring into here. Books and cactus are fed into this machine, which is making a Thorns 1 book. The Thorns 1 book is then extracted and put down into the disenchantment generator. This one is milk. There's a bucket that cycles between this tank and the generator. And over here is a tank for water, where there is a bottle of water or 2. I think I have 2. That cycle between the potion generator and this. This over here is just an analog crafter. It's just turning the pork chops into bacon. I didn't want it to use power, so I just used an analog one because it's really not going to need that much. That wall, the lava is going down to our magmatic generator and our heated redstone generator because they don't need to be in buckets, so they're just fluids. And it recognizes all of them. So now, oh, I'm missing some conduit facades. I have a button that we're going to press. I've set up the screen over here as an override because we do need the rainbow gen active if we make rainbow blocks, which is, I believe, the question in here. Yeah, these. Rainbow stone. It can only be used in the done in the resonator while the rainbow generator is running. If it's not running, it won't do anything. So I set up this button as an override. It should be all running. I see everything but the slimy generator. Let's go check out why the slimy generator is not running. It would probably help if there was actually a bucket in the milk loop. Okay, now, everything should be set. If I hit this button, we should see the rainbow generator actually turn on. And I think I have it in a place where we won't be able to see anything for it, but... Oh, also, I put this down over here. There's a lava fabricator. It's just going to make lava for us. There's a fluid storage bus on the back. This is kind of just my collection of random things that don't need to really go anywhere. But let's see if this works. The slimy generator is not on again. Even though it does say on uses that it can use any slime ball. Oh, it takes 4. Yeah, I would hope if I put the right amount in. There, now it should work. 3rd time's the charm. Go hit our button, and then I can set up our
induction matrix to control this system. Oh, it is working. Look at that. And then everything shuts off. Then it should kick back on its own. Okay. Yeah. Okay, everything on there is working. I just have to make sure that it stays working, but I'll check with that off camera. And now I can come down here and we can see if our induction matrix has anything in it. It has nothing in it. Okay, well, I'll figure this out. So this is a transmitter and threshold thing that are set up to, I believe, trigger. Actually, I do want you on threshold. I think I want you on inverted scaled. So that should be controlling the transmitter over there. And I don't really want this fully set up. Unless we got it fully running. Okay, nothing is actually running. Good. That would be really wasting a lot of stuff. The thing I need to figure out is how to get these phantom faces to properly connect to over there. I think I'm just overcomplicating things again. I tend to do that. See, everything running except for the Frosty generator and the Nether Star generator. But do you not have another? Oh, you do have another star. You just... Yeah, you have way too much power. Well, I have a solution for that, and that is an energy trash can. Yeah, look at that. Now, I know this is nowhere near the RF input it needs for that rainbow gen. I know it isn't. Because that thing does 25 million. I'm going to have to put a muffler over there. Well, I'm going to turn it off for now. I will let it run while we're not doing stuff. Because it's going to take a while to fill the buffer on that induction matrix, as well as I want to try to make some of the bigger induction providers to be able to input all that power much quicker. But that is something I'm going to work on off camera. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. We will get to a new big project next time, which is going to be this, which I think is the Ender Quarry. But that is a huge chunk of stuff taking care of what we need to be able to move forward. And by the way, I do know I can step into the magic sections. I wanted to get our actual resource stuff taken care of first. We have our automation systems. I've got to build the whole... These guys. Molecular assembler setups that are going to be upstairs. I got to build those eventually. But I want to get the... I think it's the Ender Quarry. Yeah, this thing. Oh, Quantum Quarry. Mines blocks from a hypothetical dimension that might have existed. Requires actuators to be attached to all sides. This thing is power hungry, which is why we want the rainbow generator. But it is also a practically infinite source of every resource we want. Which means I will no longer have a redstone problem, which I think my buffers have finally finished filling up to the point that I don't have a redstone problem anymore. Yeah. So everything's finally filled up. All the stuff downstairs is filled up. There's only one thing that last I looked at was having problems. And I gotta come figure that out. It's over here. It's one of our gears. But for now, that's gonna be it for this time, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will see you guys next time.